David McNeill, bosun mate 3rd class. We were assigned to PCF 95. That was our first boat in Catlow. And the boat officer was Ked Fairbank. And early on, it was a learning because Ked was pretty much of a blue blood. And we were just a bunch of old boys. And we ended up earning each other's respect within months, okay? When you're in that type of environment, all you have to do is have somebody shoot at you, and not only do you get religion real quick, but you also know who you can count on, and we could count on each other to the end. And I don't ever remember being afraid that one of the crew members was going to let us down. The LPO on the boat was Vic St. Ange. He was from Columbia, Washington. He was a 2nd class bosun mate, but he had been assigned as the LPO and quartermaster. Hell of a nice guy, slept a lot, but he was rock solid. The other, not senior but older, was our engineman, Arnold Yost. Hell of a hard-working guy. He knew engines left and right. He was my loader on the back of the boat. I never worried about not having ammo ready or him putting it down the tube when I needed the mortar rounds. The 3rd member was Stephen Anderson from Minnesota. Steve was not one of these guys. He was our radio man. I think he was a radarman, but they made him a radio man. And again, rock solid. Vic and Steve are 2 of the crew members who came to our last reunion. And we also met in Chicago several years ago that they came in, and we had a great time getting together, first time in 40-some odd years. The youngest member of our crew was Mike Allard. And Mike was an E3. He'd just gotten married, or just had a baby. And he was young. I think there were some initial problems with him, but he came on, and he was rock solid. Everyone takes a different time to mature, from the boat officer on down to the lowest of the enlisted men. But what's important, you became together as a crew, a team, and that's probably what makes friends for life. There were so many in the service. It all comes back, though, the things that you remember most are when we were on swift boats. And that's just because it was very traumatic, to the extent that it was not something you did every day or saw every day. I think probably the first big firefight we were in, and I don't think we were quite ready in knowing what we were getting ready to get into. And what I remember the first time, which sort of made me realize that there's people out here trying to kill us. When I looked over to the right, I was the aft machine gunner. And I was standing on the back of the boat and couldn't, because we were standing on top of 2 12-cylinder gray marine diesel engines that tended to rumble. If Ked needed me to do something, it was usually a hand signal, because there's no way we could hear it, or he'd have to yell so loud that everybody would hear it. When I looked to the right and I saw a machine gun, it was stitching the water, and I thought, somebody's shooting at us. And then the next thing I saw, it must have been a B-40 round, went over us or by us, and it exploded to our rear. And then that's when all hell broke loose. And that's when, I don't remember the boat, I think it was the 59 boat, had been probing up in the canal. And they had run into an ambush and they came hauling out, and the VC were desperately trying to stop that boat, stop us. I think one of the things that you really see how lucky you can actually be, one of the boats that was sitting out at the mouth of the canal with us, one of the Vietcong must have had him in their sights, because I believe they counted like 16 holes in his gun tub and the framework around the top. And I think he only got a nick of some aluminum that flew off one of those. I also then remember after we broke contact and went back, this was in the Song Bodie, and we went out to the Coast Guard cutter that was waiting for us out there to rearm, and we pulled up alongside of the cutter, and the boat deck is littered with 50 caliber spent rounds, and we needed to rearm, and I think we were going to go back in and hit that ambush spot again there on the bend in the river. I'll just never forget looking up at those guys and the expression on their faces. It was, they were in shock seeing what we had just been through. But anyway, those are the ones and nothing else that I did on the ships would even come close to comparing to that experience, something that sort of sticks with you the rest of your life.